Hey y'all, what's up? So I'm back and guess what? Your girl is post half marathon. So I know that before I had said that I was gonna talk about my training plan and what I was gonna do and the training plan I was following and yada yada yada, but obviously life got in the way. Life got in the way. I was gonna give multiple reasons, but number one and only reason is life got in the way. So first I'm going to start off with the way that, well, you guys, first, let's take a time to just look at my medal. It was a well-earned medal. So I actually ended up doing the rock and roll in Dallas this past weekend, and I came in, my time was 1:52, so that means I averaged at about 8 minutes and 30 seconds per mile. I really honestly started off a little bit too quick. And so your girl got tired. The first part of the race, if any of y'all that are watching just so happen to be at that event, y'all know. So the first part of the race was very casual, relaxed, just kind of was breathing on through. I was actually averaging at that point at about 7:50 a mile. And then the second half of the race was all uphill, which I will say that the fact that I was doing a lot of different style workouts throughout my training plan kind of helped me with that, honestly. Like, my back muscles were in pain, but I felt them working, and I was like, oh yeah, I've been working this out. I got this. But still, first hill, it was all right. Second hill, still all right. Third hill, and the hardest hill, I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm literally going to die. But all right, so like I said, I came in at 1:52, a little bit slower than I wanted to do. I honestly wanted to do 1:45-ish, but whatever. I mean, it's life, it happens. I honestly didn't train very well for it. So that is what I'm here for today. I am here to talk to you guys about my good things that I did throughout my program and the bad things that I did throughout my program. So initially, when I signed up, I had, let's see, because I actually have it written down for y'all. So let's see, the first day I actually started training was 1, 2, 3, 4. I gave myself 5 weeks to train for this half marathon, which I've run that distance before, so I felt like, oh, it's fine. I'm just gonna jump right into it. So my first week, what I ended up doing was my 7 miles. So on I did it to where Sunday I was gonna do my long mile, like my long run. Monday I was gonna do 4 miles, a gym workout, so a HIIT workout, and then 3 easy miles, and then a 5-mile tempo run, and then 2 rest days throughout each week. That didn't end up working out at all, just because if y'all know anything about, which you do know anything about running, but running takes a long time when you're not the fastest. So for me, doing 5 miles, for me doing 7 miles, I actually had to go out of my way to do that, and the weather was off. It was just gloomy, it was cold, it was hot. Here in Texas, the weather is all over the place. These all sound like excuses, but I promise you, it's the real deal. So the one thing that I did do that I am glad that I was consistent with was that I continuously did my long runs. So every single Sunday, no matter how much I messed up throughout the week, I still did a long run. So I started my first week with 7, and then I trickled down to 8, 9, 10, and then 11, and then the 13 that next weekend. So that's one thing that I felt really helped, was that I did continue to do my long runs. And another thing, so I didn't neglect that. And then another thing that I think really helped was, even if I didn't have the time to go out and do my longer runs, which ended up towards the end being a 7-mile run and 8-mile run, for the tempo runs, it was, instead of that, I ended up I was like kind of scatterbrained, but so instead of doing that, which for me it would take me a while longer, I ended up doing a HIIT workout instead. So a very fast-paced, high-intensity interval workout, and did not stop, pushed my way through. So I felt like I was exerting just as much energy as I would throughout a tempo run, just differently and in a lot in a much faster pace, or a much faster, shorter span of time. You know what I mean? So that is what I ended up doing. And for my recovery days, the days that I wasn't able to go out and run because it was either A, raining, or B, cold, or C, with the time change, it was still dark out and your girl is scared of the dark. Not the dark, but there's like coyotes and all these different animals where I live. So that just kind of freaks me out a little bit. So there's bobcats where I live. But so instead of doing that, if it was too early or cold or rainy or anything like that, I would go to the gym and cycle because I felt like I was still getting a movement in. The bike actually felt really good on my legs after my long runs. So for me, that was a different way of doing a recovery while still... What is wrong with me? Okay, so for me, doing that was basically still doing a recovery, but just in a different form. So that's the main thing that I'm getting out of this. So even though I didn't stick to my training program and was like very diligent with like, okay, I have to do this today, I have to do this today, because life does get in the way and that's fine. But instead of completely just giving up and being like, oh my gosh, I suck at life, I'm gonna stop training. Like, no, I signed up for this race. I'm going to train as best as I possibly can, even though life just wants to work against me right now. So like I said, I stuck to my long run. So even though I wasn't strict with everything else throughout the week, I still consistently did a long run, and then apart from that, I did either a recovery run, or in place of that, I substituted a cycling session, like a 30 to 45 minute cycling session. And another thing that helped me, so I'm all over the place. So another thing that helped me actually was also doing the Stairmaster. So I started doing the Stairmaster as well, and that I felt like really developed my back muscles to where when I was doing the hills, I was actually passing up a lot of people during that time. Even though I was slower because I was fatigued, I had the muscles to get me going, which feels really, really awesome when you're working out your body and training like a ninja, to where things that look harder for other people, you're in pain, but you're breezing through it in comparison to them, which is so awesome. That was one of the things that I realized, that because I stayed consistent with a HIIT workout every day, I stayed consistent with doing a recovery session, whatever that may be, and integrating the Stairmaster into the workout. When I was doing HIIT workouts, sometimes I'd throw in the Stairmaster. All of those things combined, and yoga, and doing sufficient yoga so I had a good core and I wasn't slouching halfway through because I was so tired. All of those things combined made me feel like so awesome, because I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm a ninja, I can do this. Like, I feel the different body parts that I've been working out, and I don't feel as bad for not going out and running every single day. Which, even though I could have worked on having a couple more tempo runs in there so that maybe my times would have gone up a little bit, I still felt like I didn't do so bad, and I actually didn't feel fatigued on race day, which some people overtrain. So by the time you get to race day, you're just exhausted and you're just so fatigued, you have injuries or whatever it may be. But I didn't feel that way, and that was so awesome to me, because the previous half marathon that I had trained for, I literally overworked myself. I forced myself into doing runs whenever I didn't even have the time or the energy to do it. And I was just so exhausted by the end of it because I wasn't listening to my body. And that, I think, was what wrecked me. And that same thing that wrecked me is what helped me this time, because I learned to listen to my body, which is what I previously talked about a little bit, is that when you listen to your body, you're really able to be in tune with the dynamics of how it works. And by doing that, you're able to get a lot more out of your workouts. You may not get the same amount, be able to do the same amount of workouts as you plan on doing or as the schedule says you should, but allowing yourself that flexibility and having that ability to really listen to what you need, then once you get to that race day, you're not fatigued, you're not overworked, you're not mentally exhausted or drained from all the energy you've been putting in for the past, I don't know, most people train for like 11 to 13 weeks. So that's something that I felt was an upper on my part. But yeah, apart from that, the race is really awesome. The energy is great. If there's any half that y'all want to do, the rock and roll is one of the most fun ones. And I'm excited to see what I'm going to do. I don't think I'm going to sign up for any more halves. I don't know, but I probably will, just because I love the energy of being in it's just a group of people that love running, and you just get together, and it's awesome. It really is super awesome. But yeah, so those were the ups and those were the downs. The downs, I could have done more tempo runs. The ups is that I really listened to my body, and I was able to incorporate different style workouts that didn't take as long as doing runs, and they still helped, and they still benefited me in the long run. So if y'all have any other questions, just let me know, and I would love to continue to make more videos for you guys. So if there's anything that you want to talk about or anything you want me to talk about, then just let me know and I will do it. Bye, you guys. Have a good day.